Hi, it's me again.
What now?
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but là...
You couldn't be bothered to join.
Right. Tell you what, though, I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I have some plaster of Paris.
Amazing.
I've got a sewer key.
I used to work in the sewer.
Oh? What happened?
I had a cigarette break in a pocket of methane. A manhole cover landed on the other side of the Seine and I was sacked.
Has a guy calling himself Merlin been nosing around?
Was he wearing a t-shirt with "My name is Merlin" on it?
I doubt it.
Then how the hell am I supposed to know his name just by looking at him? Huh?
Have you seen this man before?
Yes, he asked me a lot of questions, just like you. A greasy tissue. Don't get it too close to my cigarette, monsieur, or there'll be a conflagration.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Yes, it's a communion chalice. I know, you know, I used to be an altar boy.
You?
Yes, me. What's so funny about that?
Nothing. I was pretty sure the shaken shock had shot its bolt in Syria. Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
A guard stood by a door I guessed led to the excavation. He looked pretty pompous. Well, not so much pretty, just pompous. Hi? Excuse me?
Oui?
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy, I just didn't realize you were a guard. I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground. What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him. Have you seen this man before?
Oh,
You have.
no.
This gadget is a sewer key.
So it is.
I got this plaster from Ireland.
Not an exciting souvenir.
Look, a tissue stained with grease paint.
Ah, just what I've always wanted. If you give me that, you can enter through the door.
Really?
Of course not. What would I want with an old tissue?
I thought better of showing him the chalice. He might be on the conspiracy's payroll, and I didn't want to risk it.
Oui? You have...
A sudden urge to sing. Care to join me?
No, no singing in here.
No way. Do you recognize this name?
Merlin. Non.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
There was a telephone on the far wall. Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
Hi, Nico?
Georges, what have you discovered?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Is something wrong?
No.
Georges, why are you calling me?
Oh, no reason. I just wanted to hear your voice.
You did? Well, this is my voice saying, don't bother me, I'm busy.
Oh. There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door's locked, monsieur.
The doorway was full of assorted old tea chests, cardboard boxes, and so on, all empty and all uninteresting. The doorway led to an old utility closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there. I couldn't see any use for a collection of dirt and half bricks. A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right over to full. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. I couldn't get to the door while the guard was there. Hi again.
What is it?
It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Thanks. On the keyring was a big old key that looked like it might fit the excavation door. Being in a charming comfort station like this made me think fondly of the toilet in Syria. That place was kept in pretty good order. At least, it had been until I vandalized it. Still, it was all for a good cause. The thing felt really hot. Big demands seemed to be being made on it. I didn't want any coal. On the wall was an automatic hand dryer. I wasn't about to wash my hands in this place, so I didn't need to dry them. Oh boy! Dirty soap! How do they do that? Oh boy! Dirty soap! Perhaps I could make a copy of the key. The key had made a clear imprint in the soap. The bar of soap had the imprint of a key in it. I knew keeping that plaster was a good idea. With the plaster and the imprint, I was on the right lines. I had filled the key's imprint in the soap with dry plaster. You can't make a cast without wetting the plaster. But wet plaster alone does not make a cast. The key's imprint was now filled with wet plaster. I used the dryer to speed up the process. Well, it had taken a while, but I had made myself a completely unconvincing plaster key. Way too fragile to use in a lock. I'd have to substitute it for the real one. Trouble was, it looked like plaster and not metal. Then again, that plaster statue in Syria hadn't looked like stone until I'd been a bit artful with it. Maybe I could improve the key as well. It was my plaster copy of the excavation key. Trouble was, it looked like plaster, and it felt like plaster. Hi again.
What is it?
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.